Hola, mi gente. Good morning. This is Julio with his daily focus chats. Today, I want to talk about one thing that bothered a lot of people in our group yesterday and others who are not in our group but also commented. Yesterday was a candidates forum sponsored by City Limits and a few other coalition organizations. And I want to congratulate them for, taking the initiative to have a forum on this very important race here in District 15, Congressional District 15, which encompasses the majority of the South Bronx, the poorest urban congressional district. Which, by the way, some people don't want us to continue to say poorest congressional district, but I'm going to keep on saying it until people really, it gets it through their heads how bad the situation is here. But the bottom line is that we were not invited. And we heard about it at the last minute. Somebody said, yo, did you know there's a candidates forum tonight? And I was like, what? And I went on it, and sure enough, there was this candidate, and I saw some other candidates already talking. And I was shocked because we were at the last candidates forum, not sponsored by City Limits, sponsored by other organizations. And we had a great time talking and listening and educating and debating on certain issues. And I look forward to that because that's how this community can get to know who are the candidates and make wise decisions, whether it's for me or whether it's for any of the other candidates. I respect that. But what I didn't respect was the fact that we were not invited. And when we researched why we was not invited, because there was no emails inviting us, nothing on our Facebook invitations, basically they responded that it was because we didn't meet a certain threshold where they looked upon the fact that, yes, we are on the ballot, so we made that threshold. But apparently they also look at the filings for the Federal Elections Commission and how much, money people have, raised and, the fact that you file. And I found that appalling because a progressive organization that calls itself progressive and wants to do something as positive as they did yesterday to limit people who are not on the forum because they didn't raise the money or because they did not file with the FEC. They have to understand one thing. You file with the FCC all the time. So if you're a candidate, you have to file. The fact of whether you put the amount of money that you make and that you have in the bank, that's another issue. So if you have $1 million, you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, that shows up, and that's what basically reporters and anybody looks at to see, oh, this person is a legitimate candidate. But if you're like us, we have a revolutionary campaign. We basically are not focusing on making and raising all this money. And whatever money we raise, we spend it as fast as it comes. It comes in, it goes out. So we don't have standard amount of money and just standing in the bank waiting for us to spend it. So therefore, when we file, we don't reach that limit where we put in over $5,000 for them to be able to document that and put it out. And for an organization like City Limits to not research and know that, okay, well, who are the candidates? Because you don't have money being filed with the FCC so you can see how much money we got? Or are we really in the streets? Are we really in the people's minds? Are we in the people's homes? Because of what we've done, not just for this campaign, but throughout my life and through the times that we've been doing stuff without being a candidate. What we have done, which has been so much. And they didn't research none of that to see that who are the real candidates out here, and the fact that I wasn't invited because of that, and perhaps others were not invited because of that. Are they candidates as well? I just found that appalling because while we talk on one side of our mouth about taking money out of politics, Citizens United, you can elect anybody, you can give as much money as you want. We criticize that, but yet we apply it in a very smaller scale on something like that. That's a hell of a contradiction, City Limits and all those organizations. And also, I just want to say something to the candidates. If I was a candidate and another candidate was not invited, though I might have differences with that candidate, I would always stand up for that candidate because I believe in democracy. I believe people have a right to say what they believe in and let people decide. The fact that no other candidate even questioned why I wasn't there, and they all know me. They all know that I've been either supporting them at some point, campaigned for them at some point, or the fact that I have campaigned for myself on major issues that they were not involved, but they at least supported. And that I wasn't invited, not one of them mentioned anything. Shame on you guys. But that's okay, because I understand people have their priorities. But I just had to say this today, because that's my concern on the fact that we talk about these contradictions in our society, and we also have to talk about the contradictions within the progressive so-called sectors. That's why I don't call myself progressive. I have always called myself a revolutionary. I will continue to call myself a revolutionary. And this is the revolutionary that you guys and I and our families want to go to Congress to speak the real deal. So if you believe in what we're doing, hey, go to my website, juliopawan.com, and help out in any way you can. Because this revolution is and will continue to be televised.